What's up? What's up, everybody? I think I pressed the button too soon. Too soon. Anyway, man, I am so glad it is Friday. Very glad. Hope everybody can hear me all right. And hey, welcome, Boss Man. Boss Man here with me tonight, holding up that Oh, are we back? Can people hear me? Are we back? Are we back? Yeah. Wow. That just kind of like stopped. What the crap? I don't know what that was about. Anyway, Cabbageshack Artworks. The one person that's watching, can you hear me? Yeah, is it back? Uh, is it back now? Are we back? Okay. All right, we're back now. I don't know what happened. That just lost signal, and the modem is 10 feet away. Anyway, um, yeah. So Cabbageshack Artworks tonight. Um, Boss Man is holding the first place trophy for the Snakehead tournament coming up March the 22nd. The 21st is the captain meeting in Margate. Go to snakeheadfishingtrail.com to see the rules. You can still register. You just won't get a discount. Last March 1st ended the discount for that. So anyway, yeah, go check that out. I'm gonna play a little video. These are all the trophies that'll be there. I'm handing them off Sunday afternoon. Anyway, enjoy this for a second. Pee-wee. All right. All right. So that is March 22nd. The boat ramp will be down there. I think he wants us to give out the trophies and the weighing the fish, and we're going to be doing some live interviews of the winners and stuff. So it ought to be fun. They got their new shirts in. You can go to their website or go by RB Tackle, Bait and Tackle, and Margate. Pick up your T-shirt pre-order for $15, and they'll have them ready at the tournament. So anyway, last shout out. All our sponsors are listed below, but always shout her out. Okeechobee Rustic Company for all her natural laundry soaps. Just helping her out best way I can. And before we get into everything, shout out to my baby girl, not so baby anymore, baby girl. And I told my parents years ago that they were welcome because I gave God chose my daughter to be born on their anniversary, and that was the last anniversary gift I got them, or kind of. But anyway, I told them that was it. You got all the years of your granddaughter. So happy birthday to my daughter. Quick little video. I just threw something together. This was in hung out with her for a little bit, but she's trying to make it out there, and she's busting her butt and doing what she can with everything. So shout out to her and happy anniversary. 56 years for the parents. for the parents. 56 years. Amazing. I made it 8. That's about it. But anyway, all right. So, what kind of fisherman are you? Uh, a tournament catch and release only fisherman, or are you a let's stock the freezer fisherman when you go out all the time? So, shout out to Miss Merritt. She says on Facebook that just enough fillets for dinner. That's about where she's at with it. I know Captain Mike. They do a lot of catch and release. I mean, some of his clients keep, but it's a lot of catch and release down there in the Everglades. But but yeah, if you're gonna eat, she's just enough fillets for the night. But then Mr. Joe Hector, he said absolutely both. But I wanted to kind of dive in. What's funny is I like to see what AI says about it, and then kind of talk about what they on just this specific subject. And it was funny because I'm going to talk about what they had said, but it was one part of tournament fishing. They don't think it applies, or AI doesn't think it applies to just people going out and fishing and catching dinner or whatever. But anyway, so I just say what kind of building rods, and I'm changing things up now, but building rods, and look for that announcement. Probably another month or so away. I'm gonna be changing some things up, and if little hint that if somebody's interested in the rod business, they might want to get in touch with me, and even a woman with the girls' business too. So that announcement will be coming pretty soon. Got to separate the businesses out and all that before I do anything. So that's coming. But rod building, I was always, man, I get invited everywhere to go fishing, and it was always I get a phone call right before I get invited, or it was a big order and I had to cancel. And Captain Bill over in South Florida Bass Charters for your peacock and clownfish. Everybody, if y'all really want to do that kind of fishing, if you're from out of state, you want to come down, he'll hook you up. It's my first captain I ever built for. But anyway, he says I'm not a good fisherman, and the Lord blessed me enough to know how to survive. But I was never. I've done some tournaments with some guys that I built rods for. I've done the Big Bass tournament that is put on by that outdoor place in Texas. But they always have one at Lake Gunnersville every year. But anyway, yeah. So the last probably 10 years, I go to the Keys once a week. Once a year, maybe twice a year, and I call it stock the freezer weekends. And because that's the only chance I'll do some bank fishing, working on fixing my John boat back up, and to do a little more canal fishing down in South Florida. But yeah, it was. I have been the last 10, 15 years more stock the freezer guy. I've never been a tournament guy. Just didn't have time for it. Barely have time to go fishing, but I'm actually going fishing tomorrow. We're doing do a little bank Oscar fishing tomorrow and down in the Everglades. But anyway, so yeah, that's me. I never, but I do. Let me take that back. There's certain places I stock the freezer. The Keys, is the main place. Offshore, definitely. Inshore, I will keep some trout every now and then. They got to be on the upper side of the limit, but like peacock bass, um, bass and Lake Ida and all that. It's just I can't see myself keeping those fish because just everything dumps into there, and not that the Everglades any better, but it's better to me. It's always flowing, and there's not a lot of runoff. And by the time it gets to the area that I fish, it is filtered out through the sugar sand and all that. But anyway, so what they say about both both subjects is um, they both have different goals. One, put food on the table for the family. When I stock the freezer, and it's not really stock the freezer, I will just catch my limits or not quite the limit, just keep piling it up. But I do a lot of it to do a community, like invite a lot of people over and have a fish fry. I like doing community stuff, invite everybody, all backgrounds. It don't matter. The one rule, even though I'm a Christian man, I don't. Um, we don't discuss religion or politics at the get-togethers because somebody's going to disagree, and it may end up blowing up. And especially this time in our lives, and what's happened the last 8, 12 years, that we just I'd rather not have a blow up at a cookouts for community, uh getting to know each other, chilling out with each other, having a good time. So I'm a cookout fish fry kind of guy for the community. But so let's get tournament fishing. It's about the chase, it's about the skill, and where they say that it's the adrenaline rush, that early morning off the boat ramp, that start, and I get it. That's cool, and I know a lot of guys that do it, and I'm here for them. I just but they say it's adrenaline rush. Catch and release is good for conservation. Um, you know, tournament fishing, you take a picture, have your picture made, show it off, put it back in, and um, um, anyway, the skill, you got skill focus. Th- you know, either one of them, there's stress on the fish on the initial catch, but they heal pretty quick. But it's conservation. Let them live another day, especially the bigger ones. They've made it. I know every now and then FWC, if they know some of the anglers that live on some of the people that live and fish all the time, live on some of these lakes around here, that they're the population needs to be cooled every now and then. So they will tell them, hey, when you're fishing, you catch a few this size, probably just need to throw them in your boat because we need to call those out, when they do their tests and everything. Because if you don't call out, just like my friend Sarah with the Slab Lab up in Huntsville, growing trophy um, copper nose bluegill, they shock the pond to call out. And you have to do that in order for your fish to grow. If you want bigger fish, and that's the good thing about the conservation and the catch and release. You got to every now and then. I know a lot of people. We live on all these. There's 100 lakes in our county, so y- you know uh, it's like people really roll their nose up if you're keeping bass. Well, if you're keeping bass, that you need to cull some of them to make it more of a big, catching bigger bass fishery. And it's with any hunting and fishing. If you do it right, you still have to shoot. Even with deer, you have to shoot a minimum of does and certain size bucks every year if you want your population, your deer antlers to get bigger. You want everybody to grow. There's got to be a culling because there will be disease and everything with it. So it's fast paced, strategic, it's social. They talk a lot about community. With the bass tournaments, and I get it. Not everybody goes to these bass tournaments, and down here we're lucky to have. They start off. The Elite Series starts off in Lake Okeechobee, so there's always tournaments going on there. Istapoga is a huge tournament driven lake in our county, and it's their plans on to be even more. A lot of development going on, and they're wanting to make Istapoga and it's got big bass. But anyway, so also, well, they also AI also says about cost, that tournament fishing is more costly and all. Yeah, but the angler that goes out in the boat fishing for the freezer, it ain't cheap either. So the problem is AI hadn't been fishing lately. That's the problem. Bank fishing and kayak fishing and john boat fishing, that's going to be your cheapest route. But you go offshore to stock that freezer, it tends to be, if you own the boat, it tends to be more than Phoenix bass boat sometimes. So yeah, and the thing with the adrenaline, look, I don't care if I'm Oscar fishing with ultralights that we're going to do tomorrow. I don't care if it's that, dude. I get pumped up. Now, I don't show my emotion like, I've seen some of these social media guys. I mean, they will jump in your face and all that. I mean, I've caught 13 different species of fish one time going to Amazon. I did not get excited. If you see a smile on my face and I do like a little, ooh, that's about all you're going to get out of me. And I don't know if it'd be any different if I caught a big marlin or a huge yellowfin or anything like that. It's fishing. I like being out there on the water, and if I catch something like that, good. That's great. But I do like to go. I like to go different places and fish. But anyway, so to compare, uh, some people take advantage of the stock in the freezer, and my perception of stock in the freezer is, and it's all up to you. I'm not going to take advantage of it. I'm on. If it's 15, hey, if they're biting like crazy, yeah, I'm gonna get my 15 go. I know guys, we got a spillway down here. I ain't gonna call nobody out, but when that water's flowing, then them specks are biting. And I know some guys that hog one little area because it's a good area. And my buddy has, and I have witnessed them. They'll go down there. They'll have that bucket and they'll catch their uh 16. I think it's 16. Anyway, and they'll kind of ease up to the car and dump them in the car, and then come back down and catch another limit. And which, I get it if you're hungry and that's all you're eating, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna catch what I'm supposed to, and I mean, but sometimes I stopped by my little hole after I went to the Everglades, stopped by there, and all I caught was some little brim and some little bass, and I threw them back. They weren't big enough. I mean, I'll catch and release, but you know, but fishing to put meat in the freezer. The downsides, limits exist for a reason, and the reason why there is limits because there's always that one person. I don't care construction company I work for. I used 6 months working there. The first 6 months I was there, I said, "Man, you know what? We need this and this and this for every superintendent." And he said, "Man, I would, but there was one superintendent that supposedly 3 trailers got stolen, enclosed trailers to put all our tools and go job to job. 3 of them got stolen in 1 year. Stolen. That was the air quote stolen. So there's always that one person that screws it up. That's why there's regulations. There was somebody a long time ago that screwed up and did what those guys do at the spillway: catch a limit, go dump them, come back, catch a limit, go dump them, come back. You know, so you know, uh, and the fish don't always bite. You're not always guaranteed, but I'm just going off with something. Yeah, but so is tournament fishing. You're not guaranteed no fish when you go tournament fishing, and the adrenaline thing. That is not that the people stuck in the freezer still has that adrenaline. You're still trying to catch fish. Now the difference is in tournament fishing, you're mainly using artificial. Whereas you stock in the freezer, I may use artificial for a little bit. It's always a little line that Captain Bill said, uh, "Yeah, we can use artificial to catch some peacock, but if you want to catch a lot of them, we'll use the live bait I got." And that was 2 guys that brought lures. Said, "Oh, we just use our lures." About 10 minutes later, "Hey, you think you can rig us up for that live bait?" You can go from catching 20, 30 to catching 60, 70, even more. I mean, I've been with him caught 90 peacocks. But anyway, that's one difference. Is the live bait part. You, you know, um, anyway, that's man. Everybody fillet. John posted. I wish he'd comment. John posted fillet and release. I do for the Oscars. I do carry my battery powered Bubba blade. Um, I do carry that battery powered fillet knife, and I got rinse off, plug it up to the truck, rinse the table off. That way, I don't have to, carry them home and try to find a place to put all the guts and everything. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, I could have read this, but it says I'll just read AI's take on this subject. It says if you're wired for competition and love to rush, tournament fishing is your lane. Catch and release keeps sustainable while feeding that drive. If you're more about quiet time on the water and practical payoff, filling the freezer wins. It's hard to beat the satisfaction of a meal you caught yourself. Me, uh, and I lean towards the freezer approach. And there's something about catching, Land Shark Outdoors. If y'all don't watch him, he does a lot of uh, catch and clean and cook. Most of his videos end with cooking what they caught. Reed, Reed, the fishmonger. That's a good YouTube channel to watch how to clean and how to prepare and cook. Sometimes he has chefs on there, but he will show you how to fillet and get the whole use of the fish. From the jaws to the fins. I mean, fins you can fry, and it's almost like potato chips sometimes on the redfish fins. Yeah, we've done that before. But anyway, those are good things, and he's right. There's nothing like catching your own, man, fresh. My buddy I work with, he's doing a job in Panama City, and he takes a cooler with him, and he fillets catches one or two trout a night, and he may come home with 5 fillets for the week from the week, and that's what he eats on the weekends. So yeah, ain't nothing like catching your own and felt like you accomplished something, but it sure sucks when you zero out. Sure sucks. Um, but anyway, yeah. So that's it. Whatever your angle is, there's no right or wrong answer with it. Some guys are geared to just tournament fish, and that's fine. But I do enjoy the water. And what did John say? Hold on, let me say that again. John said fillet and release. Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm gonna end. Yeah, I kind of quit doing Uranus, Missouri stuff just because. But anyway, just a quote. I've always been a glass half full guy with anything. And those are my expectations. If it doesn't meet it, I don't lose any sleep over it. I try something else. So I've always been a glass half full guy, always optimistic. But I heard on this movie, I thought I'd leave y'all with this quote that I heard. And it has to do with the glass half full, glass half empty. But the quote, and this was so good because I'm kind of the same way, but I never heard it put this way. Um, Let me, before I read it, get this ready because I'm gonna end with this. And um, it says, "Don't be." Hold on. Blue crabs. Martha, I hear you. I hear you. I appreciate you watching tonight. I hear you. Blue crabs. Yeah. Well, yeah. You can catch them and keep them. Just don't go over your limit. But anyway, so the quote is, "Don't be glass half full or half empty. Be the kind of people who know whenever triumph or disaster comes along, you can always refill the glass." And I hope that let y'all think about that this weekend. I hope y'all just be the kind of people that whatever happens in life, you can refill that glass. You can start over. And if anybody's hurting, reach out. I don't mind listening. I'm a good listener. And refill that glass. If you're struggling with something, just refill that glass. Get out on the water. Go. They say if you stare at water for 10 minutes a day, it'll make your life better. And there's something about being on the water, just going staring at a stream, just water running for about 10 minutes. Just relax. Don't think about nothing. And that's what it's about. That's why go outdoors, breathe some air, enjoy, take somebody with you, enjoy the company. Just chill out, relax. And, everybody needs rest every now and then, and that's one way to do it. Rest your mind. And anyway, y'all have a great weekend. I'm gonna fish and play golf this weekend. Woo, that's a lot for me. I don't know what's going on. Lord doing something. Anyway, y'all have a good weekend. I appreciate y'all, and see you next Thursday. Got a good guest coming on next Thursday.